Good afternoon. I just wanted to introduce myself. My name is Scott Medill, and I'm the head of product for Lockstep, and I have very exciting news to announce. Lockstep and Anytime Collect have merged to create, in order to create the next generation of receivable solution. Just like Anytime Collect, at Lockstep, we were founded to improve the way that accounts receivable and accounts payable collaborate between companies. And every day, individuals in accounts receivable and accounts payable, they will open up over 800 million emails. They'll manually open them up, and they'll read the PDF, and then they'll manually update that information inside of their accounting system. All of this overhead is really, it slows down the processing of payments and accounting department's cash flow. So Lockstep vision was to replace these emails by APIs in order to automate the data exchange and provide real-time updates between accounting systems within the accounting cycle. And really, by joining forces with Anytime Collect, we're going to be able to create new solutions with greater value together. For example, we can automate the maintenance of customer contact information, customer documentation. We also want to provide new invoice deliverability solutions. We think these solutions will bring a wave of modernization inside of receivables. So with that being said, we are launching a modern receivables initiative at our Innovate concert on September 10th. And I'd like to personally invite everyone on this call to attend and learn about our new strategies about data-driven optimization, customer-centric experiences, and really, the overall proactive receivables management. You'll be receiving information to sign up to Innovate, so I really encourage you to sign up and learn more about our modern receivables initiative. And as always, if you have questions about this mergers, reach out to our customer success team, reach out to Grace, and we're happy to talk to you individually more about what this merger means and how all the positive ways it will impact your relationship with Anytime Collect. So with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Grace, and she has some exciting short-term news about some features that the product will be launching soon.
Thanks, Scott. Do you want to, and we're going to go ahead and unmute everybody on the call today since it's our user group. We do have this as an open forum. I do try to give everybody some information on our current development cycle that we're working on. I really appreciate everybody taking the time out of your day to be on the call today, just to be involved in our product. And I appreciate, Scott, you getting on the call to start talking about this exciting new news that we do have. So everybody knows there are some huge benefits for Anytime Collect, our current user base, and I'm very excited about this. So definitely reach out to myself. You can also reach out to Amanda if you want to have a direct conversation with the Lockstep team, as Scott indicated. If you have any concerns, if you have some ideas, I'm more than happy to set up some calls to address any questions that you have on that. The couple of other things that I did want to talk to you about, we've got some customers that we have on the call today. We've got some premise accounts that are out there. They've been patiently waiting for a premise release. The one thing I do want to make sure that I address, we're currently working on that premise build this week. I'm hoping this premise build is going to be ready for you, and we'll have it available. I'm hoping that build will be ready, so I send out the email on Monday of next week. It will include all the features that we've implemented since our last premise build. So our last premise build was November 2018. It will include everything with the release up until June 22nd. So, and I know there's been a couple of you that have been patiently waiting for that to be included in the premise build. If you have any specific questions on premise, reach out to me directly and I can give you an update, but we're working very hard to try to get that premise build done this week. The other thing we're working on is our current dev cycle. I always try to give our users on the user group a heads up on some things that we're including in this dev cycle. I've got a couple very exciting things in the short term. We've got some more long-term plans, but in the short term, we are making some changes on the customer portal to give your customers more self-service tools. So included in this release, we're looking at doing promise to payments. In other words, the customers on the portal can set up a promise payment on the portal to indicate, I'm going to be sending you a payment by this date, to give the ability to customers have more self-serve tools, and also give your collectors visibility on the customers and when they're logging into the portal as well. We're also providing, and again, this is going to be an option where you can turn that on, turn that off, because right now we don't have that capability. Some customers may not want to give that option to their customers on the portal, so it will be an option that you have to enable. The other thing that we're also including on the portal is the ability to send out an email and export from those grids. So some customers, and I've had feedback from multiple accounts and multiple users that are on this call today, their customers are asking for a way to get a statement on the fly from the portal. So we've got a project out there that we're including in this release to be able to export that information to an email address that they indicate. So when they're on the portal, if this option is enabled, they'll be able to put in their email address and click the button to export the grid that they're looking at, whether it's the statement, the payment view, or the invoice view. And again, it's going to be an option you can turn on or off. So this is a couple of new things that we're adding to the portal. There's going to be more coming. And again, Innovate's going to be the best place to hear about more of our items such as this. Everyone that's on the call, I absolutely, if you can possibly get to Innovate this year, I'd encourage you to do so. Some of you have been to Innovate the last couple of years. Definitely want to encourage you to be to Innovate this year if you possibly can. Not only to hear about our modern receivables, the Lockstep merger, but also our roadmap for going forward with Anytime Collect. With that, I'm going to open this up for anyone that wants to ask a question, whether that's a question to Lockstep. Scott's still on the call with us today. Question related with this new release, whether it's the premise or the new release. My scheduled ETA on the release is next Friday, end of month at the very latest, which would be the midweek. August 1st, I believe, is on Thursday. Is that correct, Tom? So anyone that has a question about anything we've talked about so far, or any questions, concerns, things you want to bring up, a completely open forum. So I'm going to turn it over to everybody on this call today to bring up anything you'd like to discuss at this point. And if you don't feel comfortable talking over the phone, you can also put your question into the chat. So anyone that's on the call today, I know a couple of you have been to Innovate in the past. Is anyone on the call today planning currently on coming to Innovate? Does anyone have any questions on possibly the merger while we have Scott on the phone? And again, if you don't feel comfortable speaking up for all of our users, you can always type it into the chat. You can always send an email directly to either myself or to Amanda after the call. Does anyone have any suggestions for our development team as far as features that you would like in the system? Anything that you're struggling with? Any feedback that you'd like to give us?
Sue.
Okay, so Sue said, what is the name of the company on the merger? So that's going to be Lockstep.
Well, Scott, do you want to kind of, Sue missed your introduction, Scott. So do you want to just reiterate just kind of what's happening between Anytime Collect and Lockstep, and how that name, because she wants to know what the name of the company of the merger is.
The name of the company will be Lockstep. And And really, we both focus on the automation of processes between accounts receivable and accounts payable. And I see another question about will the merger change anything for us, good or bad? And I think the merger will be positive, because now we're really joining forces, growing the engineering team, growing the product team, and so we'll be able to provide a much broader product. And I think the innovation will be faster, because we'll have a larger team.
I 100% agree with what Scott's saying. I know that came from somebody typing in the chat, and I absolutely 100% agree. This is going to be all good things. We're going to have more features, functionality in the system, not just for receivables, but for managing contacts across your accounting department. So it's going to give you a broader product that you can do more with based on this merger. Scott, do you see that question in the panel there?
I did. Oh. The question is, what is the customer base now for the collection side for Lockstep? The Lockstep solution today is really focused on the broader service desk. As email traffic comes in, as general email traffic comes into accounts receivable and accounts payable department, it helps you automate those, the generic processing of those emails. And we understand a big part of that is the accounts receivable traffic, and that's where the merger of Anytime and Lockstep come in. And we absolutely will support the on-premises accounts. It's an important part of our strategy, because we understand that a lot of organizations still have on-premises ERP and accounting systems. We want to continue to support them, and in a lot of ways, basically help expose pieces of their on-premises systems to the cloud, so that they can better work with other accounting departments.
Yeah, and just to reiterate kind of what Scott's saying, the current functionality features that we're supporting, they are not going to go away. They're going to expand upon what we currently have. So any customers, any systems that we're currently working with, that's not going to change. It's just going to get better. We're just going to expand upon what we currently have, and with Lockstep's help, so it's going to be bigger, better, faster.
Yeah, so most of our competitors have turned their back on the premise ERP accounts in the world, and we're proud of that customer base for us. We're proud. We have no intention of changing it. We'll continue to embrace it and create new and better functionalities for our premise customers. So.
And no worries there. Thanks for the questions. Anyone else? Feel free to type in. We'll read the question out loud. We'll address any question that you have on this call. Whether you want to verbalize it or type it in, we'll read the question out loud and answer your question. So I appreciate the questions we've had.
One other comment I'd like to make too, Grace, is that I would encourage you all maybe just to go out to lockstephq.com.
Thank you.
That's their URL currently, and it's a great website. They have some fantastic information about the capabilities of their service desk, and their blog posts are fantastic too. They really resonate well with the accounting community, I think, and I would encourage you all to have a look at that. Like's been said throughout the call, we're really looking forward to kind of folding in a lot of that Lockstep functionality into the Anytime Collect solution. Our merged solution over the course of the next 6 to 12 months is going to be fantastic. There's going to be new features and capabilities that are going to benefit all of you, and we're looking forward to showcasing that at Innovate, and certainly we're going to have more communications with you via email and other contact information, as it makes sense to do that leading up to Innovate. But we're trying to take advantage of every forum like this to, as Scott mentioned, to put the word out, let everybody know that there was a merger, business as usual in terms of the great support and other things, and great capabilities on the horizon with the merged company.
Amanda put the URL in there. If nobody caught that or needs that, we can also provide that to you if you're interested. But she did put the URL and send that to all attendees on the webinar or the user group today. So please do as Tom suggested, go out to their website, look around, get familiar with their company. It's going to provide great access to just further develop the product that you currently have.
Yeah, and in Amanda's follow-up email, she'll include that URL for everyone so that they have a chance to check that out.
Yeah, thank you, Scott. Thanks, Amanda.
Does anyone else have anything?
And again, questions, concerns, if you have issues you want to discuss, we've got some great users on the call today. If you're looking for advice, any follow-up internally, let us know. And again, I appreciate everybody taking time out of their day to get on this call today. I want to give you a chance to definitely, if you want to type it in, type it in. If you'd like to schedule a call directly with some of the Lockstep team, we can always arrange for that as well. You just have to let us know. We're here to help in any manner that you need that help, assistance, feedback. That's what we're looking for. We really appreciate you guys being on this user group. A lot more to come. And again, I just want to kind of encourage you on the Innovate. If there's any possibility of getting you or any of your other users or anyone that's familiar with Anytime Collect to Innovate, it would definitely be a great opportunity to learn more about the merger and our roadmap for going forward from here.
Oh. Sue's asking, will the email workflow be able to be sent out to Outlook versus having an additional email in ATC?
So, Scott, so just give you a little bit of background. Sue Anderson works with one of our premise accounts. And Sue, let me just make sure that I am understanding the question correctly. Right now, Anytime Collect is managing the collection email. You're looking for Outlook to be managing that email, but you also want it to flow into Anytime Collect if it's coming from Outlook, because I think we already have the capabilities of doing that depending on how you want to work that. So if I'm stating that correctly, the way I'm reading your question is you'd like to send the email out of Outlook, but also have visibility inside Anytime Collect. Is that correct?
Hi, how are you doing?
Yeah, so there's definitely some things that we can do depending on the requirements. So if I can get some specifics, whether you work with me or follow up with Amanda, Amanda can send a follow-up email. Maybe we can do a call to discuss the specifics. So we can definitely work through, what the specific requirement is, Outlook versus the email in Anytime Collect. And if there's an opportunity to integrate with the Lockstep application that we're talking about, we'll definitely include that as well. So like I said, there's going to be different ways of doing the email, especially with the Lockstep merger. We're going to have even more options associated with that. So I'll have Amanda get with you as far as details on that. Yeah, that I understand. So we'll have Amanda work with you directly on exactly kind of what you're looking for and define some options on how we can do the email that you're looking for and manage it a little bit easier based on your requirements. Yeah, thanks for the question, Sue. Appreciate you being on the call today.
Does anyone else have anything at all, even unrelated to Lockstep?
Yeah, I don't want to keep you guys on the phone today, but I also wanted to give you a chance. Think we're good?
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, appreciate the time today, and we'll be following up with some more information out to all the users around Innovate and the Lockstep merger. Definitely reach out directly to myself, Amanda, We can also provide you direct information to the Lockstep team if you prefer to go that route. More than happy to set up calls so we can address any concerns or questions that you have related with the merger. Scott, do you want to add anything else before we disconnect?
Nope, that was great.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, guys. Have a good day.